looking to, again, take advantage here and, bring their best play of the year. So it's going to be a really fun game to not only host here for you guys, but to watch. Here we go. Pequannock starting off. And that one will go out of bounds there. So Waldwick's going to throw in here. Now it's Pequannock throwing in, but it's intercepted by Waldwick. Pequannock's trying to set up in Waldwick's own end. But the defense is there. Waldwick's going to try to get it out, and the ball's out again on Pequannock, so Waldwick will throw in here. Seems like, yep. And we do apologize today. We're dealing with a limited roster sheet for Waldwick. So if we don't get anyone in terms of naming, it's because the numbers are not completely correlated on our roster sheet. So unfortunately, we're trying our best here. But for the matter of today, it's what we're dealing with. Pequannock trying to get a shot there, very close in. And it's saved. What a chance there, though. Very close in a high dangerous area in Waldwick's own end. And they turn it over. Waldwick going the other way. And that one's going to roll out of bounds. Pequannock with the throw-in. Dribbling there was number 12, Sean Tweep. And Waldwick's going to recover here the offensive pressure from Pequannock. They can be able to stable it in their own end, and that's their goalkeeper there who's going to pass it along, continue the play here. So Waldwick trying to make a statement here and get it out of their own end. But they cannot. Pequannock, that will be number 3, Nate Valentin. My apologies. The ball will be sent out again by Waldwick, but constant pressure for Pequannock. Will they be able to stretch it out here? And they're going to reset again. And Pequannock back with the ball. That is Matthew Gonzalez providing pressure for the Golden Panthers. Number 27 of Waldwick's going to try to kick it in and try to get past Pequannock. It's going to almost just roll out there, and it does. So we would like to mention the prospective records. Both these teams, they're both coming in with a 12-8-1 record into this matchup today. A very similar prospective matchup, obviously, in terms of record, but due to New Jersey's power points and the way the NJSIA sets it up, they're actually seated very differently, which is interesting in terms of bracket-wise. And it's a goal by Waldwick! They score! Out of nowhere, they just bring the pressure from the throw-in, and Waldwick's on the board, 1-0. Who would have saw that coming? It seemed like all the pressure to start was for Pequannock, and the second Waldwick gets the ball, they capitalize there. Man, oh man. That's why you cannot mess around in these games, and Waldwick out with the early 1-0 lead. Caught me there while I was talking about their records. My apologies. We know how much even just one score means in this game, especially due to the fact that they're going to be playing, obviously, with everything possible today in all their might. So even if it's simple, it's going to go a long way. The ball's just going to roll out there. Pardon real quick. We're having a little difficulty with the score update, so just give us 1 second with that. We'll have that updated as soon as possible. Again, it is 1-0 Waldwick. Pequannock trying to get the ball out of their own end. Patrick Iglar is going to be your goalkeeper. I was going to say netminder, but both work for Pequannock today. Obviously, they've had some interesting things going on with their goalkeeping lately. Obviously, having to switch out due to injuries, and we saw for a while Aiden Amiri was in the net, who actually doesn't even play the position. He was an emergency third-string goalie. He played a couple of matchups, even part of a couple more as Iglar was making his comeback. So kind of interesting there. All right, so we're going to update the score here. We apologize for the delay there. And Waldwick now running with some pressure here again. Trying to take advantage. But now Pequannock back with it. Pequannock passing it there for Matthew Gonzalez. It's a battle here in center field for who gets possession. Waldwick's going to send it out, and Pequannock gets it there and for the whistle. It's tossed in. It's going to be picked up by the Waldwick goalkeeper. Danny, let me know if you are here with us. We do apologize for any technical difficulties early on here in the early stages of this broadcast. Again, we're still kind of getting used to meshing the studio broadcast from back here in the TJK Network studio with the live site and live feeds. So can't complain, though. We've been doing pretty well so far. Waldwick with some pressure here, and it's going to be knocked out of bounds. We'll be knocked out by Pequannock, though, interestingly enough, and Waldwick will get the throw in, especially when they're in Pequannock's own end. So this is going to be the determining factor here. If Pequannock's able to recover easily, Waldwick with the shot, it's blocked, and that one's going to roll out. So your Golden Panthers looking to make a statement here. They're coming off a 1-0 win. Pardon my voice. Versus Midland Park. And so obviously trying to move on here and continue to prevail. That was the first round of this tournament. And a tough game. And like I said, a one-score game is a lot in this game. It really is, especially here in the sectional playoffs. So you have to make the most out of every single moment because every single moment counts. And ultimately, it can be decided by literally one score. So, Pequannock knows that. They've seen it firsthand. They were actually on obviously the good side of it last time, but they have to tie it up here and build on top of it to be able to win in this game. And then we turn to Waldwick. Waldwick's coming off a 2-1 win versus Mountain Lakes. In their first one first round of the tournament. And that's what moved them on here to the quarterfinal round versus Pequannock. So both teams playing in the postseason here in highly contentious games, decided by very low scoring. And it's ultimately what's most likely going to be a factor here. It's what we've seen so far, and it's been very entertaining to watch. So we're looking for both teams to bring their all, obviously, and they have. Pequannock tossing it in here. I got some good height there, and unfortunately, it's going to roll just out of bounds again. So it's going to be turned over to Waldwick. I apologize, I'm losing my voice a little here. I'm commentating too many games, getting used to it. But that's always a good thing, right? I guess you could say. So it's going to be tossed in by Waldwick. Pequannock trying to get it in. They'll just do just that. Just connecting. Slid past two Waldwick players. Oh my gosh, what a shot here. And it goes just high. What an opportunity there to look to get on the board, but it's just not the right angle. And that was John O'Connor in position there, I believe. She kicked it again, but it's be sent right back. And that one will not count. So Waldwick's going to be kicking in here. And now it's going to be set up for Pequannock. Oh, we apologize with the zooming of our camera again. As I said, the integration with the studio can be sometimes a little tricky, but we're trying our best here. So if there's any instances like that, it's going to be real quick. Tossed in, and it was headed by number 8, Matthew Gonzalez. And now float into Pequannock's zone end. Kicked in by the goalkeeper. And so we keep seeing these free kick opportunities passing each side of the field. Number 37 to Waldwick's going to be able to send it in here. Try to look for some pressure already to build on to their previously established 1-0 lead early on in this game here. A lucky bounce, but since then they found a way to bring the pressure. And lucky bounce not in the actual scoring itself, but the ability to get there. Pequannock had some early pressure very early on in this game, and it looked like all the pressure was towards them. And the second Waldwick got it in Pequannock's own zone, they were able to easily, capitalize on it and make that a 1-0 lead. So Pequannock looking to chase back here out of their own end. That will be Patrick Iglar with the ball to throw it in. We're going to be paused up again here. Patrick Iglar this season is 1-1-0 in the 2 games that he's played. The .800 save percentage. He's looked good in every game that he's played. He's had 1 shutout. And as a goals against average, just .75. So even though he's played in obviously a very limited amount of games this season, and obviously Peter Rosenthal falling due to injury, we see, the goalkeeping still able to stay active and provide what you need in this game. Obviously, early on, giving up a goal, but they're very much still in this game, and you just got to find a way to capitalize on it, get in the zone, and score. But we got a lot of time here. That's the beauty of soccer. So it's going to be Matthew Gonzalez sending it in here to try to create some offensive pressure for Pequannock. Your Golden Panthers looking to reciprocate, get on the board, and tie this one up. Fortunately, it's going to take an odd bounce, and it's going to be passed up by Waldwick as they look to build pressure. Waldwick, number 10, just tripping through everybody, but getting his way through. But not able to get to the back. Pequannock's defense there to answer, send it back. Taken down on the play, and that's definitely going to be called. That was number 3, Nate Valentin. He was tripped up there. And so Pequannock with the free kick. And again, if we have not yet mentioned already, please consider not only following us on our Instagram pages, but checking out all we have to offer on our TJK Network website, and also subscribing over here on Instagram. What a chance for Pequannock, recovered by the goalkeeper of Waldwick. That will be their second shot on net, and both decently high danger, close there. But the goalkeeper was there to make the answer for Waldwick. So back to what I was mentioning. If you have not yet followed TJK Network on all social platforms, or even subscribed here on YouTube, we would really appreciate that. That would mean a lot. We're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers. And so anything in terms of supporting, it's completely free, and it would mean the most. So we thank you all. And continuing on with the broadcast here, Pequannock, again, trying to build pressure here. They've fallen early, down 1-0 to Waldwick, in Waldwick, in this quarterfinal round of the NJSIA State Sectional Playoffs. It's going to be picked up there and recovered by Patrick Iglar, as he's going to look himself to gain some pressure here and throw it in. So, sorry, kicking in rather. That's Waldwick who with recovery there. And again, we keep seeing the offensive pressure at Waldwick. They're not able to get completely through, but they're able to trick Pequannock and stop them from being able to set up. And the persistence of being able to do that in this game is definitely going to be the costly factor. Pequannock's going to have to find a way to break through, whether that be through having to be faster at offense, or just continue your tactics at defense. But you're going to have to be able to break through here and find some plays, which they've had high danger opportunities. We've seen 2 shots that could very well be goals. Almost a break here, and the goalkeeper comes far out for Waldwick. So when you have aggressive goalkeeping at one end, it's going to be a lot harder to score on the other. So we're interested to see what this will inspire here, with Waldwick's goaltender looking to make some pretty good saves and some decently close chances for Pequannock. It's going to be rolled out there, and the ball is going to be for Waldwick. They're going to be looking to get out of their own ends. Again, for those just tuning in, it's a 1-0 game here in the quarterfinal of the NJSIAA State Sectional Playoffs. This one we played in Waldwick. The visiting team, obviously, being the Pequannock Golden Panthers. This is due to seeding, of course. Even though both teams finishing with the identical record of 12-8-1, Pequannock 2-5-1 in their division, and Waldwick 6-3-1 in theirs. So both different records in their respective divisions, but overall very similar in terms of record. And we see, obviously, with the way the NJSAA sets up with power points, you could have an identical record and also be vastly different in seeding. So interesting to see here. And it comes to play in this game itself. So kicked in by Pequannock. They've had some more substantial time in Waldwick's zone, and they're going to look to capitalize on it. That's going to be Nate Valentin kicking it back. He's going to pass it laterally. They're going to look to, again, try to find an open lane here, but it's going to be recovered again by Waldwick. Tough play there by Valentin. Or sorry, not Valentin. That's my bad. Waldwick trying to build pressure, but there's three guys on him, and they recover. Pequannock with the ball again. Trying to run it through. Looks like that's Gonzalez. But Waldwick will interfere. Stretch pass out. Gonzalez not there just with it. Again, Waldwick bouncing it back. The height of number 10 taking advantage there. It's be passed over to Valentin from Gonzalez. Valentin's going to look to make a move. He's going to try to kick it in. And again, picked up by the defensive player in Waldwick's zone. Has to be kicked out. Pequannock with the ball here, the ability to throw it in. As Waldwick was the last one to touch the ball there. The computer is completely glitched out. I'm sorry, guys. We were dealing with technical difficulties here. We'll be trying our best. I currently do not have a view of this feed, so give me just a second here. And we see Waldwick with the ball. They're going to look. Make a move here, but taken down there on the play was number 15. And so he's able to get right back up at first. Leave off 15 for number 16. But they're going to get a free kick out of that. Number 3 for Waldwick. This will be a free kick opportunity here. So back to what I was saying with the PowerPoints. Both teams seeded the same. Waldwick, the number 2 seed. Or sorry, both teams with the same overall record, but seeded differently. So same record-wise, different seed-wise. Waldwick, number 2. Pequannock, number 7. So obviously they're going to be different seeds, but the drastic change from 2 to 7 and identical records, it shows how PowerPoints come into play in the bracketing for these state sectional playoffs, but also the way the NJSIA rolls them out. So Nate Gonzalez is going to try to get through there. Just can't. Number 37 for Waldwick able to get to it. Or sorry, number 30. So Patrick Iglar is going to be able to get it in here. He's going to kick it in. Gonzalez tripped up on the play. Or my bad, that is Armando Viñas who was tripped up there. Valentin was going to pass it back. Now it's going to come back to around Valentin, but Waldwick with the strength of play there, and it's be recovered by Patrick Iglar on a shot that went high. Looks like Waldwick was just trying to get it in there, but it came to Patrick Iglar, so he's going to be kicking it out now. For those just tuning in, Waldwick with their early 1-0 lead in the quarterfinal of the NJSIAA state sectional playoffs between these very close contested contested teams. Both 12-8-1 overall record. Looking to make a statement here in obviously the playoffs. Pequannock seeded number 7. Waldwick seeded the 2 seed in this bracket, and that's why Pequannock is the visiting team on this field here. But again, that doesn't mean very much. It's PowerPoints. It's how the structure works ultimately, but both these teams very similar over the course of the season. Pequannock looking to build some pressure and be able to tie it up here. They've had some chances. They really have. Waldwick's goalkeeper has made a lot more saves than obviously Patrick Iglar. But again, that's not what matters here. It's the quality of shot and the ability to score. And even though some of them has been high danger for Pequannock, they have not been able to get in the zone anywhere near as much as Waldwick. And that is going to be, if ever, the costing factor in this game. But very early on here, still in the first half. So it's going to be a free kick in here. Pequannock trying to establish, but Waldwick is able to take over, knock it through there, and tripped up but fine was Pequannock. Pequannock throwing it in. And there's going to be a foul there, another trip. So Pequannock's going to get another free kick here. So that one is almost going to roll out. But Pequannock's still with it. And there's going to be another foul there. Possibly. And no, it is not going to be. And Waldwick's going to get the opportunity to send it in the other way. Beckley's trying to kick it out to center field. I was questioning at first why the ref waved it off. I didn't know exactly what that was for, but I assumed it could have been possibly for the foul. But I wasn't 100% certain on it, and it looked like he was taken down from my angle in the studio. But ref says no, it's Waldwick's ball. Here at center field, they're going to battle for it. Gonzalez is going to try to get it, and not quite there. But Gonzalez running back with it, trying to beat number 10 of Waldwick. As we sent high over the net and out of bounds. So Patrick Iglar, the junior, is going to toss it off. He's making one of his early starts here. It's crazy to say that in the postseason. But obviously, due to some unfortunate injuries for Peter Rosenthal, who fell after playing 16 games this year with 5 shutouts and 11-6-1 record. He's out with an injury. We saw Iglar out with an injury, and we even saw an emergency goalkeeper in Eddie Amiri. But thankfully, they're at least able to get their backup in this game. So Patrick Iglar, 1-1-0 with one shutout. Playing well in this game, and he makes the save there. And a high danger opportunity for Waldwick. He was able to keep it in. Stop them from getting to it, obviously. So that was Nate Valentin. Tossed it to get out of bounds there, but now he's going to get it. O'Connor is going to get the throw in here. And he's going to toss it to Vignas. He's confused there, O'Connor. On why it's turned over, Waldwick player is going to be able to throw it in. Again. Out of bounds. It looks like we might have Danny joining us here on the broadcast. Danny, you there?
Yes.
Welcome along. How's everything going?
Good.
So Waldwick came out here early with a 1-0 lead. Just in case you missed it. And Danny's actually played soccer. He's had a career for himself, so it's going to be interesting to hear a little from you on that.
Yeah, well, wasn't much of a career.
Hey, well, anything's anything, right?
Yeah, I mean, true. I did play for a town-named team. Nothing to do with any school, but I did that for about a year or two.
Nice.
It was good.
I mean,
great. I was really
it's
good.
Always great to get on the field and get some experience. Like I'm saying, I never played anything really professionally, but even though I wasn't in this sport, just being able to get involved when you're younger, and even in your teenage years, it means a lot. It means a lot, no matter where you're playing. It's a really cool experience to be able to participate in.
Oh yeah, and if you're all for it, you're all for it. You just got to do it.
Recovered by Waldwick here at center field. Number 16 colliding with number 8 on Pequannock, Matthew Gonzalez. Waldwick trying to keep putting on the pressure here. They've had the majority of pressure in this game. Pequannock needed an answer with it. But I've just not found a way to capitalize or find the back of the net. That one's going to roll out. It's going to be tossed for the goalkeeper to deal with. So Patrick Iglar is going to have the chance here to create some pressure for Pequannock, at least try to connect. Pequannock looking for a decent boost here. Just the first half, but they fell in early, 1-0 to Waldwick. From ever since, some very aggressive pressure on their end. Butted in again. Pequannock trying to take advantage. Gonzalez looking to pass it away. He passes it off to Miri. Kicking it in there. Nolan Casey. Taken. And John O'Connor passed it off. Vinamella passed it in. Or Vintamila, sorry. My apologies. So, Danny, what do you see this game so far with the pressure from Waldwick, and what do you think Pequannock can do to ultimately answer it?
Hey, well, throughout the first half, very nice plays from both teams, defensively and offensively.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even though Waldwick has had the ample amount of opportunities, we've seen a decent amount of high danger opportunities for Pequannock, and even earlier on, probably to the midway point here of this first half, Pequannock had more shots on goal, so they were connecting with getting shots on net. They just weren't able to find the back of the net, obviously. And ever since Waldwick got on the board there, they were just able to bring constant pressure. And in terms of like zone time, Pequannock's had to defend a lot more than Waldwick here.
Well, when it comes to scoring a goal, specifically in soccer, you have to find your way around the goalie to connect a shot in net.
Yeah, definitely the most important factor here. And we see, with limited experience, Iglar coming in here. He's done a great job, though. You really can't complain. And it's just, the tide of the game and how it works. Sometimes it's not gonna be the shot that you save every time. But he's coming in here with a pretty stellar percentage, even though in the limited amount of times he's played, and especially with the injuries that Quantic has faced in goal. It's really all you can ask here, especially to have a goalkeeper on the roster playing a game like this. And again, we saw Miri come in as an emergency third string at the end of their season, and just thinking about that going to the postseason or the playoffs. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. He played pretty stellar as well, and they really had no issues in the area. But you want a guy with a decent amount of experience to be able to hold that spot, and so that's what Iglar's trying to prove. So Waldwick looking to connect, but it's recepted there. It's sent back, butted in by Pequannock. But referee says otherwise, and it's going to be thrown in by Waldwick because it was, I guess, out of bounds there. Falling on the ball as it rolls out of bounds was Pequannock. And so we welcome anyone new joining here to the NJSIA State Sectional Playoffs quarterfinal between Pequannock and Waldwick. The number 2 seed in Waldwick and the number 7 seed in Pequannock being the visiting team here at this field. Both coming with a 12-8-1 record overall in the season. 6-3-1 in the prospective division for Waldwick and 2-5-1 in the prospective division for Pequannock. Both very similar, obviously, only seeded differently due to the PowerPoint structure and the bracketing of the NJSIAA. So interesting game here. Waldwick with their early 1-0 lead. Pequannock started off with a decent amount of pressure. Waldwick ever since then, since scoring, taking complete control of this game and looking to continue to do so. Pequannock, again, looking to just try to get it back in. Try to get in Waldwick's zone and find chances to score. They've had shots on goal. Every time they've been there's been pressure. Just not enough, obviously, to break the seal of the Waldwick goalkeeper. It's going to be a free kick here for Waldwick to send it in. And look to connect. And that one's kicked out by John O'Connor. He looked frustrated there, and now 31 of Waldwick's going to be able to toss it in, and it's recovered by Pequannock. That one might roll out, and it's kept in by Armando Viñas. Stellar performance there to keep it in, but it's just. We step back to your number 9 is going to toss it now. John O'Connor. Gonzalez. Pequannock getting close to the net here, looking to establish a shot presence, and just wide for the pass, but it's recovered Oh, so close. John O'Connor trying to get to it, and he's stolen from the ball. Good pressure by Pequannock here, trying to keep it in. Sean Tuiti. Or Tuet. Pequannock looking to keep this pressure going in Waldwick's own end. Waldwick's able to get it out to center field here. Pequannock's gonna have to regroup. Behind 1-0 here in the first half. A lot of time left, but again, one-score game and games like these means a lot. Definitely means a lot. Obviously, this being the quarterfinal, whichever team wins here, it's sudden death for the season. Winner prevails. Moves on in this tournament. So, very important game for both sides, obviously.
So I will say for Pequannock, with what they just did, you have to keep control of the ball and prevent your opponent from stealing as much as Waldwick did. That'll give you more of a chance to get a goal.
Yeah, and just like you mentioned there, Danny, it's the main problem they've had here. It's just not being fast enough to connect. Like their offense, when they've had the ability, they've had the space. It's looking great, and they've had plenty of shots on net to even consider chances. They've been great. It's just the factor of having the speed to get past Waldwick's defense. I mean, it just feels like every time there's one man high, there's three on the guy, and they're just not able to get through. So, obviously that's going to play on both ends. But we've seen Waldwick be able to kind of break that more, even though they've only done it once. I'm telling you, one-score game, it's been fairly equal defensive-wise from there. Saved by Waldwick on the free kick for the goalkeeper. But back to what I was saying, it's been in obviously Pequannock's own end most of the time, and that's what they're looking to get away from. And those little battles mean a lot, and that's what's gonna change the ultimately offensive zone time for Pequannock. Number 24 for Waldwick's gonna recover there off of a little battle in sight. Pequannock. Gonzalez is gonna pass it off to look to create some pressure. And just not there. It's going to be out of bounds on Pequannock. So Waldwick with throw in. Coming into it there was Vinyas trying. And Waldwick with a stellar opportunity, but he's stolen from Patrick Iglar. What a save by Iglar in close. He came out of his net, which made it look pretty easy, but from the goalkeeper's perspective, he had to come out far there to make that save. And tricky situation with obviously an odd man rush there for Waldwick.
Your halftime score: Warriors
That
1,
looks like
Panthers
will be the
0.
half.
The winner of today's game will advance to the state sectional semifinal.
And
that game will be held on Tuesday.
Hey, what can you say there?
TBA.
Really not much. I mean, both sides had ample opportunities. Obviously, Waldwick on more of a dominant factor here. The 1-0 lead. Definitely a decent amount more pressure from them. It just looks like they're better with controlling the ball and dealing with it in tight scenarios. And that's going to be ultimately the biggest deal for Pequannock. But you're not out of this game. You're really not out of this game. I mean, 1-0. It's early on. And you still have plenty of time left. You can do it all over again. Everything you just said, you can do all over again. That's kind of how you have to look at it. I'm sure that's what the coaching is amplifying here, or the coaches on both sides. But we have a good game here. A good game here in Waldwick, New Jersey, early on a Friday here in New Jersey. Beautiful Friday that is. Teachers Convention weekend. You really can't complain. We'll
Yeah,
catch you
but I
guys
will.
momentarily after the tap. So coming back from the half here, both teams with a decent amount of time there to rest up and get ready for this. Or sorry, come back from intermission, not the half. I'm getting mixed up in words, but both teams getting ready for this next half. Pequannock looking to try to tie this one up. Both these teams not at the same record coming into this matchup, so very similar in terms of obviously seeding, or sorry, in terms of record, but they're seeding Pequannock being number 7 and Waldwick being number 2. That's been a highly contentious matchup here. Both teams 12-8-1 coming into this game. Both teams also coming off of wins coming into this one. Mountain Lakes, or versus Mountain Lakes, Waldwick winning 2-1. Pequannock coming off a 1-0 win against the number 10 seed Midland Park. Mountain Lakes was the 15th seed when Waldwick did play them. So again, we see with these seedings, it's all PowerPoint based, and any game can really go either way. It just is determined based on what you got to bring to the game to actually win it. So the start of the second half here. Pequannock looking to match the pressure from Waldwick. That one will be recovered by Iglar. So we would like to mention that both teams do switch sides here. Waldwick looking to add to their lead here, but only leading by 1 very early in this game. So number 31 is going to kick it in. Pass it up high, and it's too high, but almost able to be kept in there. He's still in. That one will be out. Pequannock able to kick it out there. And it's going to be going for Pequannock's way here. To be, I believe, a free kick. Yeah, will be. Oh, so close there. Which is not enough. A little wide, and Pequannock still not on the board. Close opportunity there, but fell down on the play. Pequannock trying here to find their way to the back of the net. You have your Pequannock Golden Panthers. You want to keep this up. It's a whole new half, like completely new slate here. The season's on the line, but you can't think about it that way. You just got to come in with a fresh mind here. You can completely turn this game around. You can tie it up. You can really change the course of this, and you've had great shots. You really can't complain. I know it's been obvious that Waldwick's been more dominant here, but you've had the shots. It's not like you've been shut down completely. You found your way to get through. It's a matter of doing it again, and eventually you're going to find your way there. So Waldwick's going to have a close chance here, and this could be bad in terms of what we were just talking about, of Pequannock finding their way. And it's all good. It will not be an issue. And right in front for Pequannock, the shot, and it's going to be saved by the goalkeeper. The Golden Panthers with a plentiful amount of shots on net here, especially opening up the second half already with 2. Like I said, you just got to keep them coming. Eventually, they're gonna go your way. Fans don't like what the decision there, obviously, because Pequannock's going to get the ball, and they're hitting Waldwick's end, sending it in here. Pequannock looking to keep and maintain pressure, coming off hot here in the second half.
And this is what we want to see from Pequannock.
Most certainly.
And as I mentioned before, you know, we want to see a little bit more footwork, a little bit more speed from Pequannock. That way they can get the scoring
And he
chance,
was
get
knocked
past
off
their
there.
defense. So
No, I'm going to complete agreement with you, Danny. That's exactly what they're going to need. And again, you find a way to maintain this pressure here, and it's got to go your way. No, almost there. Another opportunity. So yeah, again, stay good in all areas of the game. It's all about just maintaining composure, especially in a game that's highly renowned like this, the quarterfinal game of the state sectional playoffs. It's all or nothing. It really is, and I'm sure you're playing with that pressure, especially if you're looking at it from both ends, not just Pequannock, because the lead can be slim when you're playing it with your all. And many of these players, of course, on this field will not return for another year. Many of the players on this field are graduating, and this is, and very well could be, the end of their high school careers. So you're gonna see it all on the field. That's the greatest part about the postseason in any sport, but especially with high school sports. And just missing it there was Vinimilla trying. Vinimilla.
but see now when I say that we need Pequannock to have a little bit more footwork and a little bit more speed, what they don't want is to have the opponent.
It's tight here. And what a save by the Waldwick goalkeeper to keep it out. Crazy amount of pressure here early on in the second half by Pequannock. Golden Panthers have yet to break the seal, but they're getting close.
Yeah,
Sorry
but
to
what
interrupt you there, Danny. Was not expecting that.
all good, all good. But what Pequannock doesn't want to do, right? They want more control of the ball, so that way, they're not having the opposing side stealing the ball as much. And that's what has the opposing side having the chance to score another goal. Is the more the one team steals, the more chances they have, and that's what you don't want.
Yeah, perfectly said there. They just got to find a way to keep maintaining the pressure and also make sure they're playing good in all areas of their game. You can't slip up anywhere here. Even though you have all the offensive pressure going your way, if any defensive slip up happens, you could be finding it well on the way to the back of your own net. That's exactly what they're going to avoid, especially while looking to tie it up here. Speaking of which, Waldwick looking to create some pressure in Pequannock's end. Patrick Iglar has been outstanding and stellar so far this game, only allowing one goal, but has been played great and withstanded a ton of pressure in the first half from Waldwick. Tides have somewhat turned here, but early here in the second half, we're going to have to see who will maintain most of the pressure and ultimately who will be deciding who will win this game. And that's up to the players on this field, of course. We've seen it well on both ends. Waldwick, pass that one in to center field. That's a stretch. That one's actually recovered by Pequannock. I thought that was going out. Now it's out. Waldwick will get the opportunity to throw it in while they're in Pequannock's own end. So this will be one where you'll want the defense to step up a little bit. Make sure you got all areas covered. And, yep, it's tossed out there, so that's all you can really ask for Pequannock. Keep it out of those high-danger areas. 2-0 lead's a lot different than 1. And that one will just go out, and will go out on the Waldwick player. So Pequannock, another opportunity to abstain pressure here. You keep things going in the second half. Will they be able to do it? It's going to be tossed in, and Waldwick, the cool little trick there to pass it back. Double team there. Pequannock was able to get to it, but they on their own play was able to get it out of bounds. So Waldwick will be able to throw it in here. It's gonna be number 31. He's gonna opt to do the ladder and toss it to the right, and double team it again. This time Pequannock's gonna get the opportunity to throw it. And Danny, let me ask this: like, from your playing experience, you're getting outplayed, obviously, but not by a large margin. Even though the balls might have been in your zone for a lot longer, you've had to defend a lot more. You've had a plentiful amount of shots. If anything, you might even have more shots in this game. Where should Pequannock's head be at? Where should the Golden Panthers' heads be at here? Ultimately, they played a good game. It might not look like it. They might not being told that. Obviously, this game is very meaningful, and it decides if you move on or not. But if you really have to break it down to the most simplest point, where do you think the head should be at of the players on this field here for the Golden Panthers?
Well, they I think that they need to step up the offense a little bit. I mean, they're good on the defense, don't get me wrong. They just need a little bit more offensive pressure.
Yeah, it's honestly just figuring out the time, that I would say as well. Still stellar to be able to get the opportunities they've had, but without time, they're not going to be able to do that. To be a save by Aguilar, and that looks like it would have went wide no matter what, but it's nice to have save there. And make sure it stays out. Waldwick trying to use their speed to their advantage and get it back in Pequannock's end. But that one's going to roll out, and Pequannock's ball. And again, just see the speed Waldwick has to get to places. They're able to multiply players almost, it seems like. And that speed, again, is going to be a deciding factor here. Iglar with the saving close. What a shot that was, and the ability to make the save there. That, talk about a deciding factor, will be a deciding factor in this game. If Iglar's not there, that could very well be 2-0 for Waldwick. So, great save by Iglar and close. And Vinamila trying to get something going, got out of bounds, and tossed in by number 15. He's going to pass it. Pequannock trying to reestablish the pressure they had earlier on in the half. A slow and easy shot. Kick to the goalkeeper of Waldwick. Pequannock with the throw into Waldwick's own end. Waldwick able to get to it there, use the speed of their advantage, and be able to stretch it out. Past center field, running with it here in Pequannock's end, and Pequannock able to at least get it back to center field. And that one will be out. Waldwick with the opportunity. Or sorry, Pequannock with the opportunity. Taken down there, and now Waldwick with numbers. And that one did not connect. So Pequannock trying to get it out, and it's sent out of bounds. But it must have touched the Waldwick players. Made Pequannock's ball. So Waldwick with another chance here. Patrick Iglar looking to be on his A game for this. Oh, so close! It will not get closer than that. Waldwick bounces off 2 goalposts, and somehow they do not score. Oh my gosh, when do you see that?
And Pequannock will be able to get it out.
With the glorious chance by Waldwick, they're able to make it out of it. I don't think you can possibly get closer than that. I mean, it was a wide open net. Pequannock, just slim chance of life in this game, but somehow it's just 1-0. They've had the chances, but Waldwick with a crazy high danger opportunity in Pequannock's own end, very close to making this a 2-0 game and making this the hill a lot steeper to climb.
And despite Pequannock being the 7th seed and trailing down by 1, they are still holding their own.
Yeah, like mentioned, I mean, we try to find spots here where they're doing wrong, and it's really just speed. They've been in this game, even with the lack of speed that Waldwick's provided. They've still had ample opportunity. They've had shots on net, even if they haven't been as dangerous as what we just saw. I mean, they've still been very good opportunities, and if anything, Pequannock has a great chance of still coming back here. So it's the beauty of the game. It's the beauty of this being obviously the quarterfinal of the state sectional playoffs, but also just given the fact that both these teams are giving it their all no matter what. The seeding does not matter. It's really the deciding factor of who's going to give it their all here. Who's gonna bring everything to the table, and both teams have. That one will be out on Pequannock. Just tied up there. Cooper Carlson was there, or Carlin, sorry.
And it's all about how far you will go and how you can make it happen.
That shot is well wide for Pequannock. So for those just tuning in, we welcome you here. He's there.
I think you seem to be cutting out a little bit there.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
I was going to say, pardon the technical difficulties.
Yeah, it's like a glitchy kind of cutout.
So Pequannock trying to creep their way back here, even though it's been tough. Pequannock can get it back here. They've been sustaining pressure. Waldwick now, the ball. It's a 1-0 game. This game in Waldwick, New Jersey. an early one on a Friday, Teachers Convention weekend. It's the quarterfinal for those just tuning in of the state sectional playoffs. So taking down their big time Pequannock. And I'm going to see what's wrong there. We hope everything is okay. And he's able to get up there. That was.
Possibly seems to be okay. Unless they're walking off of the field.
Couldn't really see the number clearly there. It seems it could have been Armando Viñas. But I could be wrong. But we hope all the best. No matter what. So Pequannock trying to still find a way to get on the board here in the second half. They've had a decent amount of pressure. But Waldwick still edging them out with a 1-0 lead and a very, very close chance to make it 2-0 and double their lead. But Pequannock somehow still putting on a show here as well. We'd like to give you an update to our girls soccer game. They're playing as well in the state sectional quarterfinal. They're currently playing Saddlebrook at Saddlebrook. So with the way both Pequannock girls and boys soccer teams are seeded, they're both playing away in these rounds. But Pequannock is leading 2-0 in that girls' game against Saddlebrook. And so we hope the best for them. That is on the TJK Network main station. And they're currently playing with 20 minutes left in the second half. Back to this game. In our second half of the boys' PTHS soccer game. Pequannock looking to tie this game up at 1. They've had a decent amount of pressure, but just not enough. And even with their shot quality, the goalkeeper on Waldwick's end has been able to keep everything out.
And the question will still remain intact. How far will Pequannock go to take the game? And can they make it happen?
Yeah, ultimately, this will decide their season. So if you're looking at it from them, just keep the pressure going. I don't think they played bad at all. Iglar's been there in every chance possible. Obviously, the one went in very, very early on, but this is a very different game since then. So, and it's still going both ways. Pequannock has not given up in any way, even with the persistent and fast-paced pressure of Waldwick's team. They have been kept out only to a 1-0 lead. And by the miracle of what just happened a few minutes ago, where Pequannock was able to somehow keep that ball out, they're very well still in this game. For those that joined us here on TJK Network and here on TJK Network 2, we ask you please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel and following us on all social platforms. It really helps out a lot, and it's completely free and helps us continue to run these games. So if you have the opportunity, you have the chance, go down below, hit that subscribe button if you have not yet already. Again, it helps us continue to do these games, expand our broadcast team, and even dive deeper into the field of broadcasting and sports broadcasting in general. Has been a record month here on TJK Network with the amount of broadcasts we've been able to get out here and also commentated here. Currently, just at this moment, on the main station, we have not only the girls' game for their game in the NJSAA state sectional playoffs and their quarterfinal matchup, but we also have the boys' quarterfinal matchup here, live commentated by me and Danny as well. So the opportunity it opens up just by your free support, it means a ton. Also, make sure to check out our TJK shop if you want to continue to support in a monetary way. You can go over there, TJK Network, or sorry, TJK152.com/network to our network page, and TJK152.com/shop to our shop page, and that's where you can search through a wide range of products that help support us as well. All right, so missed on the camera view here. Looks like a player was helped off there, and that was the reason for our pause. Again, we apologize. There's certain congruities that are different when you're covering back from the studio, especially with the live connection here. And we felt a decent amount of those technical difficulties here today, but we're still able to cover this game for you. So we'll continue on here. Waldwick with the 1-0 lead. Pequannock looking to build onto it. Right there, Gonzalez is going to have to toss it off. And so Pequannock's going to be hemmed in their own end again. Time ticking down here, obviously, but still enough. Waldwick's going to recover, try to add to their lead. Build some pressure here. Yeah, you really got to give it to the Pequannock defense because it's been in their zone pretty much the majority of the game here, if not even more, almost all the game. So, again, just the ability to keep it at 1-0. Give the offense their shots. It's going to be their only chance to get back here, but you got to credit it. Niglar is going to come out far there to grab it. Off what was a pretty safe play there. And again, that is the junior goalkeeper for Pequannock, the backup. Number 99, Patrick Iglar. So as we can hear, the crowd is pretty amped up here. This game, this is obviously in Waldwick. So as the opposing crowd you are hearing. This game is pretty early here, but it is Teachers Convention weekend in New Jersey. For me, it's even earlier, covering from the studio out here in San Diego, California. So definitely out of sorts with time here, but a nice little matey matchup between these two teams and the girls team as well. Obviously, the Golden Panthers down 1-0 here, looking to tie it up. And when we refer back to the girls game on the main network station, last time we checked, they were up 2-0. Just about 20 minutes left in the half. We'll give you more live updates there soon. as we receive them here to the studio.
Sounds like they're doing pretty solid.
Yeah, they've had a great year as well, an outstanding year, especially after facing difficulties last year. A lot of people were wondering and questioning, move to a different division, and just a lot tougher of a year for them after missing a lot of seniors. They're able to somehow just completely turn around, come back with another stellar year, kind of making last year just seem like just an off year. Just not a year where they're at their best, but they come back this year outstanding. And so it's great to see them, come off good, and especially here not only the first round but the quarterfinal of this postseason. So yeah, they're still winning 2-0 with 13 minutes left. Back to this game here. Waldwick trying to create pressure. Patrick Iglar with the save. Made that one look pretty easy, and he's going to look to try to segue this into an offensive drive for Pequannock here, but it's picked up again for Waldwick. Pequannock's really going to have to show it all here.
And I'm sure, as you saw too, that's how you want to keep control of the ball. You just want to do small kicks. You don't want to make it a long distance when you're trying to keep it in control.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't want to obviously void the opportunity for a turnover or create an opportunity for the turnover thereof, especially in a very close game for both ends of what we're seeing here. So for those who's tuning in with us here on TJK Network, Pequannock being slightly outplayed here by Waldwick, but still very much in this game, looking to tie it up here in the second half. Time is ticking, but they've had a lot of opportunities, and Iglar has been pretty stellar in the net. Almost able to stretch it there, but just not far enough. And a shot, it's high. Shots high for Pequannock. Golden Panthers really trying to break this seal here, and you really want it here for them. The fact that they've been able to stay within this game, and again, like I'm telling you, when they get the offensive chances, they've been able to try and capitalize. It just hasn't been just mingling in the end. They've been able to get shots off and create some chances, especially here. You're going to catch Waldwick off guard with the offense because they're really getting dry of defending a lot here in this game. So you got to capitalize on opportunities like that, and just so close. Just a little high there. Pequannock within inches. So running with it is to be Ethan Ventimilla. And he'll receive it back. Ethan Ventimilla, that is.
And I got to admit, that was a nice step back.
Yeah, they're getting strategic with it. That's what they're going to continue to need here. Looking to do it again, but he's taken down. Ventimilla, that is. Pequannock with the opportunity to kick it here. Try to get it in to Waldwick's end. A long-range shot just wide. And that one will roll out. So the goalkeeper of Waldwick in control of where this ball goes now in this game. Both these teams coming off an overall record of 12-8-1, a .595 points percentage. And so we see them very close in the overall standings. Waldwick opting with the better seed here, number 2 versus Pequannock, number 7. And so that is the reason why Pequannock is the visiting team here. But other than that, like we mentioned earlier, PowerPoint is the deciding factor for the seeding in the bracket here for the NJSAA, and ultimately does not really deem the quality of play here, as we've seen and come to know. And both these teams are giving it their all, so it's been a great game.
But indeed, it has been. Pequannock seems to have stepped it up in the second half.
Yeah, they really brought
And
it.
that's a
That's what you
good
like to
thing.
see. They haven't just given up. There was a lot of pressure early on from Waldwick, and continued to be here. But every time Pequannock gets a chance, they make it the most that they can get out of it, and that's really what you want to see. They're not giving up in any way, and they're not succeeding to the pressure from Waldwick. So yeah, they just got to keep doing this. I'm telling you, even if the clock's ticking, it has to go eventually. And if it doesn't, it's unfortunate. But they're giving it their all here, especially while they really are getting outplayed by a fast-paced Waldwick team. Oh, so close there. And that one saved by the goalkeeper of Waldwick. So like I'm saying, they have all these opportunities they're making advantage of. It's got to go, right, Danny? It's got to go.
Oh, yeah.
Seems like every chance Pequannock does find a way to get to the offensive end, they get a shot off. It's just a matter of keeping it there that they're falling behind with.
And it's also just a matter of trying to get around the goalie to get a clean shot in.
Most certainly. He's been quite stellar. Vincimilla would pass in, but it's going to be intercepted by Waldwick. Not to use the football term, but pretty much exactly what it was. Vincimilla trying to get it in, but back here, Pequannock, 3 guys on what seemed to be Gonzalez, and so that one is going to go out of bounds. Almost forced out of bounds thereof, for that matter. Seems like the half is coming to a close here. And unfortunately,
Your final score.
Pequannock
Waldwick 1,
will be
Pequannock
defeated
0. The Warriors advance to the state section
by
semifinal,
Waldwick
where
by a
they
score
will
of
take
1-0.
the number 3 seeded Pompton Lakes, who defeated
And they really
Hasbrook
did give
Heights
it their
this
all
morning
there.
2-0. That
They
game
really
will take
gave it
place
their all.
Tuesday
That
right
is
here at Warrior Nation Stadium.
going to be an unfortunate
Time
one.
to be determined.
Painful one to deal with thereof. But what a game between these two teams. Ultimately, what a game. Waldwick getting the better of the chances and finding a way to capitalize, but overall, it was
You
a
can
fight
join
to
us
the
back
bitter
here
end.
tomorrow morning for the girls'
It was a
sectional
fight to the bitter
quarterfinal
end. And
game.
if you look at this from
That
Pequannock,
game is at 10 a.m. versus Newton High School.
they
We
gave
will see you
everything they
back here
could. They really
tomorrow
did.
morning,
And
10 a.m. for the girls' sectional
it's going to be hard for them to deal with
quarterfinal.
here. You're already seeing it on the field, Still a rocky season, but they made it here to the quarterfinal, sorry. and just fell short. And especially we see all the adversity they've gone through, even just with the goaltending at the end of the season and the loss they faced there too. But just being able to recoup it and have a ton of chances this game, it's gonna be a tough one to deal with. But 1-0 is your final score here from Waldwick, New Jersey. We thank you guys all for joining us here on TJK Network. Danny, do you have any insights to add to this? I know, I mean, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for any Golden Panther fans, but especially for the players on this field. Many of these players in which are playing their final game of their high school career.
Yeah, well, I will agree with you that it definitely was a good game. Pequannock did what they could. But Waldwick defense is what kept them on their toes. And I mean, yeah,
Yeah, and honestly,
Waldwick
just
won
that
fair and square.
fast-paced play, being able to get to every ball and get multiple guys on every ball, it kind of just limited Pequannock in the area of being able to even move anywhere. So when they got those opportunities, when they had the open chances, they really did look great, but just not enough to completely capitalize. And unfortunately, they fall 1-0 here. With that said, that's going to wrap up our coverage here on TJK Network 2. We thank you guys all for joining us here during the season and the boys soccer season in particular. But we will continue with our coverage of the girls soccer on our main station, which seems to be coming to a close as well. So if you have not yet checked that out, you can go over there. And other than that, that's going to bring the 2025 Pequannock High School boys soccer season to an end. So we thank you guys all for joining us here on TJK Network. We ask you to please stay with us for our coverage of not only the boys soccer team, hopefully in the future, but the winter season that will be coming ahead. So from me, Logan DeRosa, and Daniel Neely in the booth here on the TJK Network studio, we thank you all for joining us today.
I will see y'all guys next time.